When life throws you a curveball, how are you going to handle adversity? Welcome to the Fearless Mindset Podcast, where you're about to go on a journey as I interview security, business, and entertainment leaders on what it takes to stay fearless. I'm your host, Mark Ludlow, and enjoy today's episode. Hello, everybody. This is Mark Ludlow, your host of the Fearless Mindset Podcast. And today we're changing it up a little bit. We don't have any FBI agents. We don't have any CIA, James Bond, or Jason Bourne. We got my new guest today from Florida. How you doing, sir?
Very well, thanks, Mark. Very nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you, too. Now, how do you pronunciate your name to the audience? I don't want to jack it up and chop it up.
Yeah, no worries. My name's Alastair Callender. I've got a background in yacht design. I've won international awards in sustainability, innovation, and yacht design. And then over the last 8 years or so, I've been directly involved in over 40 superyacht sales and numerous charter vacation bookings all over the world for my clients. So that's a little summary about what I do.
And what I do in the security world, Alastair takes care of them in the yacht world. And so this is going to not really be an interview, but we're going to have a conversation about what he's seen in his world. Because I know my audience, we have a lot of bodyguards, exec protectionists, a lot of people in the EP, executive protection industry. And so we'll dive into the billionaire lifestyle and what they look for service and the kind of class that you offer in customer service. So we'll kind of go into that too. So how did you get in the yacht business? I mean, that's a very exclusive business.
Yeah, great question. So my upbringing and as a boy, I was lucky enough to grow up in the south of England. In a beautiful harbour called Chichester Harbour. And that's where I spend every day of the year on board a boat or a sailing boat. And so it's sort of in the blood. I then went to a school where I was very fortunate to have a careers talk from a foremost superyacht designer called Andrew Winch from Winch Design in London, who then inspired me to get into the yacht industry because it was a combination of my love of boats and my love of design. And so I then went to university to do a 4-year degree in yacht design in England. And so following that, I then moved into starting my first business in 2008 as a super yacht design consultancy. And that's my sort of first foray into the yacht industry. I went on to found the company. And the company and I won various international awards, as I mentioned earlier. We were featured in the New York Times, Financial Times, and numerous other media organizations. So yeah, that's the sort of pathway and how I got into this industry that I'm passionate about.
So you say 2008, you were very busy, and that's when we had the huge financial crash of the whole world where everybody lost everything. Billionaires became millionaires, and they've not poor. So that's a huge undertaking in that year.
Yeah, and I have to say it was a very tricky time to launch a new business. That said, I had numerous opportunities and it opened lots of doors. I was invited to display my design work at the Monaco Yacht Show from Lewis and Yachts, who are a foremost builder in Germany, and also then won some international awards, which really helped. I then gave talks at Fedship Shipyard and various other areas of the world, and as a result, I was able to ride that crash. But I have to say, it was probably not the time for a client to then invest in the most radical and arguably innovative yacht design that there was that year. So yeah, it was a bit of a challenge. But I don't regret any of it for 1 minute. And it certainly allowed me to move over to the States, where I've been here in Florida for the last 10 years or so. It's certainly set me up well for the career that I've then since had.
Now, that sounds like a strategic move, moving to South Florida, Miami area. That's just like when I was in Fort Lauderdale for some business meetings, I have never seen so many beautiful boats, yachts in my entire life. I mean, there's so much money down there. It's insane.
Yeah, so it's certainly the yachting capital of the Americas here in Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach as well. There's some world-leading refit shipyards. And so here is one of the hubs of the yacht industry. The other hub is arguably the yachting capital of the whole world in Monaco and Antibes in the south of France. For me, it was a good opportunity. I was recruited by a shipyard called San Lorenzo to come over here and run the marketing and do some design work for them, and sort of really put the brand of the shipyard on the map in the Americas region. And then after about 3 years there, I then joined one of the largest brokerage houses in the world.
In the sales side, it must be a different animal from designing. It's probably polar opposites. So you have to use a sales brain outgoing and the architect side, introvert brain, to get the design done for your clients who are very, I'm sure, very picky and want the best of the best. And if you screw it up, you're done.
Well, it's a really useful background to have a degree in yacht design, and having won international awards, it really adds credibility to when I speak with my clients. Yes, sales is a different skill set, but I feel like I really enjoy that interaction with people, and I'm a people person. And essentially, my job is actually relationships. So I get to know my clients very well, and so I can talk to them on the sales front, of course, purchase and sale of a yacht. One day, perhaps a new construction project for over 300 or 400 million euros, but also on the charter side, we do the most beautiful charter vacations all over the world, from the Galapagos to the Med, the Caribbean, or even further afield in Antarctica and places. And they're anything from about $50,000 a week or less than $10,000 a head, up to about $4 million a week for the largest super yacht on the planet right now, available for charter.
For the audience joining us right now via audio or download, whatever you got going on and watching this YouTube, this is Alastair. He's with Moravia Yachting, one of the biggest yachting firm in the world. And I am Mark Ledlow, the host of Fearless Mindset. And I own Ledlow Security Group. We are the providers of security for some of the world's wealthiest multimillionaires and billionaires throughout the world. We staff bodyguards, EP agents, and that type of thing. And I do online coaching for military veterans going into private sector and they want to go in the business world. So that's kind of an intro in the middle of our segment so people know what they're listening to and what's going on. And I'm picking Alastair's brain because Alastair has a pulse on what's going on globally with the billionaires right now, what they're doing with their money. And he knows exactly what's taking place. And he interfaces with these folks, these high net worth people daily. And with that said, Alastair, my question is, what do you see for fourth quarter 2021, and what's happening on your end? Is this everybody dumping their money in investments or vacation type thing? What do you see?
Well, I can speak to the yacht world, and certainly we've seen a huge uptick in interest. And to be honest, it's understandable. Where better could you spend your time? And time is the most precious commodity we all have. And where better to spend that time than on board a yacht, with the seclusion and the privacy and the beautiful lifestyle of a yacht. And so I think certainly over the last 12 months or so, people have realized, being on board a yacht does offer so much options with different members of the family, multi-generational, sometimes down to the great-grandchildren. And I think as a result, there's been a real uptick in demand for not just the charter vacation side of the market, but also the purchase side. And we've seen a record number of yacht sales and yacht purchase, both new construction projects being signed, but also, the brokerage world has really had an uptick and arguably a boom right now. And so I think that will trickle down through the different size ranges. And certainly we're also seeing it in the smaller boat market. People are getting into boating and yachting for the first time, which is wonderful to see. And hopefully, in the future, it gives them a good taste of what's to come. So, I'm cautiously optimistic for Q4 going forward as well.
Your clients, I know you have a non-disclosure agreement with most clients. We're not going to go into specifics, but are you seeing, you said multi-generational families, foundations? Are you seeing tech money, new money coming in from tech world type stuff? Is that kind of what you're experiencing?
Yeah, so we've got a vast selection of different clients from different walks of life, different regions in the world. And the main sort of common thread is they're all brilliant at what they do. They're all the best brains on the planet. So it's a real honor and a privilege to work with my clients. As I said earlier, we're in the relationship world and we get to know them very well. And so, there's a vast selection of different industries that they predominantly work in. But then, after they've made their wealth, they also want to get involved in philanthropy and philanthropic work. So it's really amazing to see a lot of very, incredible generosity and work that they do under the radar. So they do enjoy their yachting, but safe to say they're also doing some incredible impact work for the greater good and sort of on a global scale, not just on a smaller scale.
That's pretty powerful. I mean, not only are they making a lot of money, but a lot of them are very generous with that money because they realize they could do much more good with the philanthropy causes, giving back through their foundation and all that. So that must be that's got to be a rewarding side of being around that kind of money, seeing the positive from wealth.
It really is, and I was actually very privileged to have a mentor whom is in this bracket, and I was encouraged to write my own eulogy, and that process was quite eye-opening and emotional. But the idea is to know where you're headed and what's your why and your purpose. And so if you know by the age of 100 you want to have achieved X, Y, and Z, what do you have to do in the next 20 years, 10 years, next year, and the next month in order to achieve those goals? And it gives you a bigger sort of umbrella picture of what you want to achieve in life. And so not just, yachting. Yes, I want to make it a sustainable industry. I've won international awards in sustainable yacht design and help my clients offset their carbon footprint, etc. But also the bigger picture. Now I love, part of my purpose is to help connect the dots and make those connections with my clients that otherwise perhaps would never meet. But they're also doing the same philanthropic work, trying to, for example, end human trafficking and help with various different important causes. And by being able to join those dots, it's one of the most rewarding things that I do. And certainly something that is being added to my eulogy anyway.
What have you learned most from sounds like you have a mentor that's a very high net worth individual, and that mentor is coaching you and making smart, life choices for yourself. What's the biggest, what is your biggest why and why you do what you do? What is your purpose there?
Yeah, it's a big question, probably tricky to answer in a short interview, but certainly for me, it's to use my, I think synergy is probably the best word, to use the synergy of being able to use my network and my connections for the greater good of the planet, whether that's in ocean conservation, whether that's in sustainability, whether that's in children's education. There are all these really important issues that I personally have a vested interest to help with, and to be able to then connect. I can't personally write the $1 billion checks, but I know people that can, and so it really is a real honor to be able to help do a small part to try and make a paradigm shift in a lot of those topics.
Now, do you find that these clients that you have, some of them are mentors to you, do they feel a sense of reward, like giving you advice of what their lifestyle is like and how they can help you in the progression of your business and your brand and in your profession? Do they find satisfaction in that?
You'd have to ask them directly. Of course, I couldn't comment on how they feel, but certainly, while you build relationships with clients, they do like to be very generous and offer me some support, make some introductions. Particularly in the US, I oversee the Americas region. I launched the Americas for Moravia Yachting. We have been around in Monaco since 1962, but certainly in the US, clients are very generous in referrals. So I might be their yacht guy, but they therefore can say that, their friends and family, when asked, they can say, oh, he's my yacht guy. I've got a private aviation guy or girl and all these different industries, but it's really nice to be their point of contact for yachting. And I'm sure you see the same in your industry of ultra net worth security.
Yeah, referrals are everything, like you said. And you're the yacht guy and I'm the bodyguard guy, the executive protection guy. Now I'm the podcast guy. So that's kind of changed up a little bit. One thing I was curious too with the yachting business during COVID-19, what was how did you guys overcome the fear of the what if, like the whole world be shut down for 3 years? I mean, there had to be an element of fear and how are we going to survive this shutdown? I mean, what was strategies that you guys put in place to get through that?
Yeah, so initially, of course, the industry ground to a halt as people were adjusting, moving to working from home, etc. But then I think soon after that, when the first lockdown kind of eased, people realized, hey, for the next lockdown, I want to be on a yacht. I want to be away from it. I want to have the seclusion and the privacy and the flexibility to enjoy life a little bit. We had a client who went away on a yacht initially for a month charter and then kept extending it to 7 months in the end, I believe. The children got into their school uniforms every day. Then after their remote learning, they went to perhaps learn about pastries from the Michelin star chef, or the flora and fauna and diving. And, what could be better than bringing to life your textbook of UNESCO World Heritage Sites, etc. So those sort of aspects, we really saw an uptick for yachting. But yeah, certainly, obviously, it impacted every industry, including yachting. But I think overall, I think probably yachting has had an appeal that perhaps people previously weren't necessarily aware of yachting or hadn't sort of considered it as a vacation. But now I'm certainly seeing clients who might have gone on their luxury safari or ski trip to Aspen who are now putting yachting on the radar as an option. And it's certainly comparable in terms of price points, indeed cheaper in some cases, depending on what size of yacht that you choose to charter. So yeah, overall, it has obviously had an impact, but we've certainly seen lots of sales and a lot of interest in yachting generally throughout the tail end of the pandemic.
Yeah, it's interesting. Lately at night, to relax my mind, you'll probably get a laugh at this. I'll get on YouTube and I'll just type in like Michael Jordan yacht, Jump 23, whatever his yacht name is. And I'll just start checking out these yachts. And I mean, there's so many YouTube videos just on yachting alone. And I mean, some of these things look like they're like estates on a boat. I mean, they're so massively huge. And I mean, I saw one for $200 million for a yacht, and the marble decor that was laid out in the flooring. It looked like, pulling up to Beverly Hills at a mansion, but it was a boat. It was just insanely crazy to me. But that's, people, they earn that luxury to have that. And it's just mind blowing of what type of quality craftsmanship there is in these yachts and nice high end boats.
It really is the highest level of luxury because of the exquisite craftsmanship, the engineering and the design. They're 3D sculpted forms that happen to also be a floating palace, and it really is the most ultimate in luxury, but also it provides a lifestyle that is second to none. The level of service, the level of luxury is quite spectacular, and that's why I think those that can and those that would like to travel via a yacht do so. And once they've had a first experience, we find that clients like to charter time and time again, and then in time move into yacht ownership as well. So we help them with that, and then one day might do a new construction project as well. So it's a design that is bespoke and tailor-made to them.
You said you're seeing an uptick in the fourth quarter. I bet once we get the double vaccination things and the COVID starts going down, you're going to probably see massive sales going on in probably 2022 first quarter. And I'm thinking your phone's going to be ringing off the hook with bigger demands than ever before, because you have so many companies getting ready to go public again. That creates even more wealth. I was doing YouTube research, so I was just curious. And it sounds like a lot of the Supreme yachts are built in Europe. Is that true? Or are they built in the U.S. or mainly in Europe?
Yeah, good question. So the north of Europe is considered the best quality of yachts, from Germany to Holland. The UK have a few shipyards as well. Italy are the foremost builder in terms of the number of linear feet or meters that are built. So in terms of the product, they produce the most in the world. But then again, you've got a few shipyards elsewhere in the north of America. Sadly, some of the shipyards have sort of faded away, but you still got foremost shipyard up in the northwest near Seattle, And then further afield now, we're seeing Taiwan and China as well come online. And New Zealand, with its sailing heritage, produced some fantastic yachts over the years. Again, sadly, a couple have faded away, but you can build some good quality yachts elsewhere, and for a cheaper price point. Turkey have some shipyards that they bring over subcontractors from north of Europe, but can build on a lower price point. So there are different ways, and we can obviously advise to clients the best solution for their project. But yes, as you say, the north of Europe is the leader in yacht building.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating because they all seem to be amazing craftsmen, just very talented with their hands and very gifted at doing what they do in custom and building. Another question I have is, of all the continents in the world, which one is the biggest purchaser of yachts?
Great question. So in terms of purchasing and yacht owners, the statistic is that over 50% of yacht owners come out of the USA. And so it's a very important region. And that's why Moravia Yachting, we're a very boutique focused sales and retail charter business. We don't want to be the largest and the loudest. We want to be able to super serve a smaller number of clients.
You said a key thing, customer service. You're very honed in on creating that relationship, creating the trust, and servicing them with that A-class service. That's so important, especially from the high net worth families out there. That's what they expect. I mean, they expect to have a good crew to take care of their yacht. They spend millions of dollars, I'm sure, just in servicing their yacht to keep it clean and immaculate. But customer service is so paramount. I'm sure, is that kind of what you see from your clients, that they demand that at that level?
Yeah, and I think they expect it, and I love to exceed expectations. So, we go down to the nth degree of planning, of detail, and making sure that no stone is unturned when it comes to the planning of a tailor-made charter itinerary, or indeed, when it comes to yacht ownership. Our parent company look after one of the world's largest fleets. They're a leader in yacht management, and so we can support from every facet of yacht ownership, whether that's crew recruitment, the maintenance, the flag and the regulations, and that side of the ownership. But also, yes, in terms of the sales and retail charter, which I'm involved with. We do provide a level of service that we would like to think is unmatched.
Now, if anyone wants to reach you, Alastair, how can they reach you? You just give your email and they reach you through your website, or is it referrals? But if someone want to reach you about maybe getting a yacht, what would you have them do to get a hold of you? Can you email?
Thank you. That's very kind. So yeah, my best way to contact me is probably via LinkedIn. My first name, Alastair, and Callender. But also you can find me on social media. My handle is the Yacht Taylor with an underscore between each word. And again, you can probably do a quick Google search and find me quite easily through Moravia Yachting. But yes, my best way is probably via LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram too.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, Alastair and I are both connected on LinkedIn, and we're also connected on Instagram as well. And when we publish this, I will definitely tag him in this on my LinkedIn platform. So if anybody has any questions, you can reach out to Alastair that way. And you have any questions about maybe purchasing one, leasing one, or vacationing one, feel free to have at it with that and get a quote, or hey, maybe even design one if you're a multi-millionaire. There's a lot of them being created in America, like Alastair just said. I can't believe America is the biggest purchaser of that. That's wild, but it shows you, we're still one of the wealthiest countries in the world.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'd love to help if anyone's got any questions about my world of super yachts. As you say, I've got some nearly 15 years of experience from design to sales and charter. So very happy to help and make any introductions where I can help as well. So thank you so much for inviting me today. It's been great to have a chat.
Of course, Alastair, the least I could do. I had to help you out, and we're kind of in the same industry. We service the same type of clients. And this is Mark Ledlow with the Fearless Mindset podcast. And, you can find me also on my website, levelsecurity.com. And then I also have my podcast, fearlessmindsetpodcast.com. And I'm on iHeartRadio if you look up Mark Ledlow. And we have published this on YouTube. And we'll be publishing this probably in a few weeks. But Alastair comes with many awards, and he's been highly acclaimed for his craftsmanship and design. How many awards do you have under your belt now?
Quite a few, but the main ones are the international awards. One in sustainability from the Condé Nast Traveler Innovation and Design Awards. Another from the World Superyacht Design Awards as a Young Designer of the Year finalist, and also from the International Superyacht Society for winning an innovation award. That was back in 2010, I believe.
Yeah, and you get to hang out on yachts sometimes and sign contracts on yachts and enjoy the beautiful sunsets on a yacht. And everybody's dream vacation, I think, is on a yacht.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. A lot of our clients like to frequent the most beautiful and sunny parts of the world, and as a result, of course, that involves enjoying the opportunity to meet with them in some spectacular locations. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, to the audience, this is Alastair with Moravia Yachting. This is Mark Ledlow with Fearless Mindset Podcast, brought to you by myself and Alastair. So we're going to wrap this segment up. And if you have any questions, just reach out to him, LinkedIn, Instagram, or you can reach out to me via my LinkedIn or my website page, and we'll answer any questions. So we'll wrap this segment up. Thanks for watching the Fearless Mindset Podcast, and we'll see you guys all soon.